See, as a child, our parents teach us right and wrong. As a child, the parent says, okay, don't touch that fire. It is hot. It will burn you. But yet, we will try until we get burned. Mm-hmm. And we know from that point on not to go mess with fire. Mm-hmm. But now, as we get older, I have gotten older, and I have the right to say I'm grown, I'm a teenager. So now I still know right from wrong, but yet I still find myself doing what I know that I shouldn't do. All right. Why did I cheat? Knowing that it's wrong. Why did I lie? Knowing that God's commandment says, "Thou shalt not lie." Why should I steal? Why should I do drugs? Why should I drink? These are some of the things that I found myself fulfilling the lust of my flesh. Right. But see, I had to ask my mom one day. I said, "Mom, I got a car, I got an apartment, I got a motorcycle, but something is missing." And she said, "Son, you're missing Jesus." And see, now I look back on my life and I see some things that's going on in the world today. And we are trying to fulfill, it's like you take a cup and you poke holes in it. And you put water in it, it will fill up, but it will become empty. And see, we fill ourselves with the things that we think are going to replace Christ. But we end up doing things over and over again, not getting the fulfillment that we need. We have young children that's out there, young ladies in clubs turning up, get pregnant, not trying to be young women to bring their other young women up in the right manner. We have young men that pants hanging, stealing, robbing, killing, cheating. We don't have to do these things. But somewhere we went wrong. Somewhere we keep thinking the things that we are doing, which is like feeling ourselves, we're still not happy. And we continue to do these things. Why do I have to do what I know I should not do? I don't have to. It's a choice. Yeah. It's a choice. God gives us a freedom of choice. But now we have been raised and came into the world. The world is a beautiful world to live in. It's not the world that God created. It's the things and the people in the world we are creatures of habit. Some things that the flesh life becomes habit for it, and it feels good to it. So we want to continue to do it, continue to get this feeling, not knowing or even knowing that it's not right to do. Because for one, it's a sin. God says, "Thou shalt not lie." God says, "Thou shalt not cheat." God says, "Love thy neighbor as thyself." But yet we can love ourselves, dress up ourselves, give ourselves the finest foods. We will go in debt for ourselves, but yet we will not help enough. Why am I doing what I know that I should not do? But God says to love one another, not despise one another. Why do when we leave out of church, we're talking about what the pastor said? He's not right about this, or he shouldn't have said this. Why do we backbite? Why do we backbite? Yes. See, these are the things that I found myself doing. All right. You see, and I can only speak on the things that I have had happen in my life. I am 52 years old. And if God blessed me to see 53, I would be grateful. To me, I shouldn't be here. This is not something that I said as a kid that I wanted to do. But growing up and making mistakes all the times that I did what I should not do, God allowed me to get locked up on occasions to save my life, not knowing that God was in control all the times that I was out there in the streets. I wasn't protecting myself. But once behind them bars, I didn't know how he was using it. Each time behind the bars, I would find myself picking up the Bible and reading it and learning, and God gives me a gift. He gave me a gift that I didn't know I had. I thought my gift was getting high, being in the streets, dancing in the club, doing all this here. But I was still doing what I knew was wrong. So now, each time I get locked up, I'm picking up the Bible, reading the Word, preaching to people, teaching people, praying with people. Come back out, back in again. I pick up the Bible, doing the same thing, repetitive. But now, I can't tell you the last time I was like. And God has allowed me to not just be used behind bars. It has transpired over to my house. The same thing that I was doing behind bars, now I do in my house. I speak the word of God. There are some days that we don't make it to church, but we have church at my house. Now, God has allowed me to go one step further. This is the first time in my life that I stood in front of a church instead of sitting in church and speaking for God. And I thank God for that. So now I'm doing what I know that I should do. And my life has taken a turn for the better. I do not straddle the fence anymore. I have both feet firmly planted on the right side. You know, I prayed to God because I didn't want to come and do this. But I love God, like I said, I used to sit around and say, I love God this, I love that. How much do I love God? Do I love him enough to come and do what he says for me to do? Because he loved me enough to keep me when I was doing what I knew that I should not be doing. All the late nights in the streets, getting high, doing all this other stuff, he kept me. And I have seen so many of my classmates, homeboys, homegirls, cousins, friends, family, falling by the wayside that are way more healthier than me, that wasn't living the life that I was living. So God has shown me favor, so it's now to give back whatsoever freely has been given to me. And that is the gift of life on a day-to-day basis, that I have a chance to repair the wreckage of my past, to be able to give back to others, so that hopefully they can see, well, if Michael can do it, knowing my past, I have a chance. See, now, I want to ask you something. When we do the things that we know that we should not do, it hurts us. Then once the things are done to us, it hurts us. We cry because our feelings are hurt. We cry because we lose loved ones. We cry because we can't meet the bill. We cry because my wife and husband have left me. We cry for a number of reasons. Let me ask you something. When was the last time or ever a time when we cried because we have sinned and hurt Jesus? All right, come on. We cry for everything that Jesus has created. We cry for the wrong reasons. We will sin and say, God, forgive me for my sins. But what's wrong with saying,